What if the next pocket camera you buy is not just a small upgrade, not just a better sensor or a sharper screen, but a sign that DJI is quietly changing how personal cameras, accessories, and even drones fit into one connected system? Imagine pulling a device out of your pocket that feels simple on the outside, but behind that simplicity sits years of refinement, smarter design choices, and a clear plan for the future. That is exactly why the recent Osmo Pocket 4 leaks have people paying attention. Not because of flashy marketing, not because of bold promises on a launch stage, but because the clues are hiding in places most people never look, like FCC filings, internal product images, and small design changes that tell a much bigger story. It all started with something that looks almost boring at first glance: a wireless remote. Buried inside a recent FCC filing was the name Osmo Frame Tap, a compact wireless controller that is not a camera at all. Yet this single accessory might be one of the strongest confirmations that the Osmo Pocket 4, or possibly even a Pocket 4 Pro, is very close to launch. DJI does not file accessories like this unless the main product is already deep into development. This remote is designed to work with portable imaging devices, including gimbals, action cameras, and potentially even DJI's 360-degree cameras. That detail matters. It shows DJI is not thinking in isolated products anymore. They are building an ecosystem where one small controller can talk to multiple devices, reducing friction for creators who move fast and work alone. The FCC documents confirm compliance with Part 15 rules for intentional radiators, which strongly points to Bluetooth and Wi-Fi being used for communication. This is not just about turning recording on and off from across the room. Low-latency wireless control means you can adjust settings, switch modes, and trigger shots without touching the camera. For vloggers filming themselves, for action shooters mounting the camera in awkward places, and for solo creators who do not want to break their flow, this kind of control changes how you shoot. It saves time, it reduces mistakes, and it keeps you focused on the moment instead of menus. Around the same time this filing surfaced, a leaked image appeared online that gave us the clearest look yet at what DJI is working on. Compared to earlier blurry leaks, this image felt real, detailed, finished. And the first thing that stood out was the control layout. Under the rotating screen, there are now extra physical buttons. This might sound small, but for longtime Osmo Pocket users, it is huge. Many people love the Pocket cameras but complained about relying too much on the touchscreen. Touch controls are fine when you're standing still. They are frustrating when you are walking, running, or filming in cold weather with gloves on. Adding more physical buttons suggests DJI is listening. It means quicker access to key functions, faster reactions, fewer missed shots. In real-world shooting, especially for travel and action content, those small seconds matter. A physical button can be felt without looking. A swipe on a tiny screen cannot. This change alone makes the Osmo Pocket 4 feel more serious and more professional, even if it remains small and approachable. Then there is the body itself. The leaked images show a device that is noticeably larger and bulkier than previous Pocket models. Even compared to earlier leaks, this version looks more solid, more deliberate. Some people might see that as a downside, but there's a reason creators are actually excited about it. A larger body means better heat management, and heat has always been one of the biggest limitations in small cameras. When a camera overheats, performance drops, recording stops, quality suffers. On the Osmo Pocket 4, visible passive cooling vents suggest DJI is planning for more powerful internals, higher sustained bit rates, longer recording times, more demanding video modes without thermal throttling. This is not something you add unless the hardware needs it, and that opens the door to much bigger questions about what is inside. One of the most talked about theories is the possibility of a dual camera setup. The housing looks large enough to support it, and the leaked images show what appear to be two camera elements. Early rumors suggested a horizontal layout, but the latest images hint at a vertical stack instead. That choice could affect STA, stabilization, depth sensing, or future computational features. It could also mean different focal lengths, improved low-light performance, or even specialized modes depending on which camera is active. Interestingly, one of the visible cameras does not line up with what we would expect from a standard Pocket Series sensor. That has led to speculation that DJI may be planning multiple versions, such as a regular Osmo Pocket 4 and a more advanced Pocket 4 Pro. DJI has done this before in other product lines. A base model for casual creators. A Pro version for users who want the best possible quality and are willing to pay more. If that is the case, this would be the first time the Pocket line truly splits into tiers. Timing also matters here. With January approaching, everything about these leaks suggests DJI is getting ready for something big. Not a quiet update, not a small refresh, but a Pocket camera that feels fundamentally different from what came before. And the timing of the FCC filings adds another layer to the story. DJI appears to be accelerating approvals ahead of the December 23, 2025 U.S. ban deadline. That suggests urgency, a strategic push to get products cleared and possibly released while the window is still open. FCC approval alone does not guarantee a launch, of course. DJI still needs to officially announce and sell these products before that deadline to legally offer them in the U.S. That raises questions about regional availability, launch timing, and whether some products might arrive earlier in certain markets. But one thing is clear, DJI is not slowing down. If anything, they're moving faster and more deliberately than before. While much of the attention is on the Osmo Pocket 4, it is important to zoom out and look at DJI's broader strategy. A perfect example of this is the DJI Neo 2. This drone is not designed to impress with cinematic specs or compete with DJI's flagship models. Instead, it focuses on approachability, confidence, and fun. And that tells us a lot about where DJI sees growth. The Neo 2 sits comfortably in the mid-range. It offers far more capability than toy drones, but stays well below the price and complexity of models like the Mini 5 Pro or Air series. This makes it appealing to beginners, travelers, casual vloggers, and anyone who wants a drone that just works. It is light, it is quiet, it is easy to carry, and it does not demand expert-level skills. For beginners, the Neo 2 is especially appealing. It is stable. It feels safe. It helps new pilots learn without constant fear of crashing an expensive machine. For travelers, it fits easily into a bag and draws less attention in public spaces. For active users like bikers or walkers, it offers dynamic angles without a complicated setup. And for people curious about FPV-style flying, it provides a taste without the steep learning curve of building and maintaining a full FPV rig. That said, the Neo 2 is not pretending to be something it is not. It is not a professional cinematography drone. It is not designed for heavy color grading or high-end commercial work. It is best described as a drone for everyday fun. Quick clips, creative moments, spontaneous flights. In terms of durability, the Neo 2 stands out. Built-in propeller guards and a compact frame make it ideal for indoor use and tight spaces. Minor bumps usually result in little more than cosmetic marks, which is reassuring for new pilots. There's a known weak point around the rear antenna section, which can bend if pressure is applied. That means users should be careful when storing it and avoid placing heavy objects on top. A protective case is a smart idea. Battery handling on the Neo 2 is simple, though batteries can feel tight when removing them. This is normal as long as they are pulled straight out. Battery life depends heavily on how you fly. Sport mode, rapid climbs, and cold conditions drain batteries faster. In real-world use, most users see around 10 to 15 minutes per battery. Carrying spares is almost essential, but the batteries charge efficiently using the hub, making it easy to rotate packs. Camera quality on the Neo 2 is aimed at casual shooting. It uses a half-inch sensor capable of 12-megapixel photos and 4K video at up to 60 or even 100 frames per second, depending on the controller. A 2-axis gimbal combined with electronic image stabilization delivers smooth footage that looks great for social media and everyday content. DJI's color profile produces pleasing results straight out of the camera, which is exactly what this audience wants. There are limitations, of course. No raw photos. No D-Log. Limited dynamic range compared to higher-end drones. Internal storage only around 49 gigabytes with no micro SD slot. That storage fills up quickly if you shoot high frame rate 4K, so frequent offloading is necessary. Flying over water is possible, but reflective surfaces can confuse sensors. Maintaining altitude and a strong GPS lock is important. Obstacle sensing works well for large objects but struggles with thin branches, wires, glass, and low light. It is a safety net, not a guarantee. When you put all of this together, a clear picture emerges. DJI is refining its approach across categories. The Osmo Pocket 4 leaks show a focus on usability, better controls, improved heat management, and deeper ecosystem integration. The Neo 2 shows a focus on accessibility, fun, and lowering the barrier to entry. Both products reflect thoughtful design rather than spec sheet chasing. Now here is my honest opinion. If the Osmo Pocket 4 launches with the design and features suggested by these leaks, it could be one of the most important pocket cameras DJI has ever released. Not because it breaks records, but because it fixes real problems. Better controls, better thermal design, potentially more versatile camera hardware, and support from accessories like a wireless remote that makes solo creation easier. This feels like DJI growing up with its audience. Many Osmo Pocket users are no longer beginners. They are experienced creators who want speed, reliability, and flexibility in a small package. If DJI delivers on that, the Pocket 4 could become a go-to tool for travel, vlogging, and everyday storytelling. At the same time, products like the Neo 2 show that DJI has not forgotten new users. They are building confidence. They are making creative tools feel less intimidating. And that balance is hard to get right. The big question now is execution. Leaks can promise a lot. Reality is where it matters. But based on what we are seeing, DJI seems focused, strategic, and very aware of the pressures and opportunities ahead. If they move quickly and launch smartly, the next year could be one of the most interesting periods in DJI's history. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video with your friends, and hit the bell icon so you never miss future leaks and updates.